Hi, I'm Rachel New, dating and relationships coach. Today I'm going to talk about why you didn't get that second date. Have you ever been in that situation where the date's gone really well, you were quite confident that you would be getting back to each other and arranging another date, and then nothing happened, or maybe the other person didn't want a second date with you? It can be quite bewildering and disappointing, and often a lot of self-talk goes through our heads. We say things to ourselves like, I'll never get a second date, or I'm just not lovable, or there must be something wrong with me. But imagine that a friend comes to you with the same situation. What do we say to them? We don't say those kind of things, do we? We don't say, oh, there's something wrong with you, you're never going to get a second date. Instead, we're much more compassionate and creative, thinking of different reasons why it might have happened, which have got nothing to do with the person, but to do with either the other person or the situation. So we might say, oh, maybe you both had an off day, or maybe the location wasn't quite right, maybe you were both really tired, or we might say, there's nothing wrong with you, it's their loss. Or maybe they just weren't ready for a relationship. So externalizing the explanation to the other person. And then we reassure them, they just weren't the one for you. You'll find someone. So we find it really hard to say those kind of things to ourselves. We focus on what's wrong with us, how it could be our fault. And in psychology, these are two different types of what we call attributions. So we have dispositional attributions and situational attributions. So dispositional is where we attribute the explanation for whatever's happened to us. So it's our fault, it's our responsibility. And the situational attribution is about attributing it to the situation or to the other person in this case. So it could be either something wrong with the weather, or you're both tired, so that will be externalizing it to your environment, or it could be to the other person, they're just not emotionally available, or they're just not right for you, or something along those lines. So when we're feeling negative, we often blame ourselves for things. If we're feeling positive, we might be more likely to be more balanced and say it could be a bit of both. Maybe I could have been a bit more chatty, but often it's just because we weren't compatible, and that's okay. So we can learn to be more resilient with our dating if we can make a list of all the possible reasons why a date might not work out in advance, and think about the things that we would say to a friend rather than what we would say to ourselves, so that we can be a bit more creative, think outside the box, and try to attribute it to a variety of different causes and not just there being something wrong with us. So I hope that helps a little bit with making sense of why you didn't get a second date. There's plenty more to think about with this subject, so I'll be coming back with another video, but you can also check out my blog because I've written a blog post called Why You Didn't Get a Second Date, so do have a read of that to get some more ideas. So visit my website, rachelnewdatingcoach.co.uk, and go to the blog.